Hello, and welcome to the Nebraska Wesleyan University Theater Podcast, the podcast made by the students, staff, and faculty of Nebraska Wesleyan's Theater Department for patrons like you. Today we are going to be speaking with Lenni, the director of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Hi, Lenni.
Hi, how are you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm excited to be here. It's a beautiful day out today.
It certainly is. 70 degrees, and oh, that sun is so nice after everything.
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about our production of Midsummer?
Yeah, so this is my directorial debut at Nebraska Wesleyan, and I am super excited that we're doing a wonderful, fun comedy as one of our final two shows of the year. And I'm not sure, many audience members may know A Midsummer Night's Dream. It has a pretty, I don't know, I guess it's considered a family-friendly comedy that includes fairies and lovers and a pretty straightforward plot, but we have our own sort of twists in this production that we're really excited to share.
And it is one of the more fairly well-known Shakespeare productions.
I think so. I think it's hard to kind of get through college without having heard the title or maybe like seeing your high school drama production or something like that. I think it's a pretty popular one.
Yeah, absolutely. So where did you want to come from in producing this?
Yeah, so I think as someone who really has a deep love of Shakespeare that has been growing since I was probably a freshman in high school, I think it's important for me to help other people find that same love and joy. And I think accessibility and relevance is really important. So when taking on this production, I set out to look at kind of problems within the production that felt like maybe would keep audiences not feeling totally connected. And I set out to solve some of those problems in this production to make it as accessible and as sort of 2026 as possible.
Yeah, and throughout this process, you've been emphasizing a lot about making sure that we, the actors, are understanding the experience as we go through in portraying it. And I think it's been really fun the way that you've kind of made Shakespeare modern to us.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm really happy to hear that. And I think, there's a reason that these 400-plus-year-old stories keep getting told over and over, and people keep producing Shakespeare, and it's because it really lives on and can be applicable to so many modern contexts. And I think I'm really lucky to have a cast who are bringing themselves and their experiences to the piece, and it's making it feel really, really modern in a lot of ways. So I hope audiences get that.
Have you directed a lot of Shakespeare in your past?
The thing is that most of my work as an acting teacher has been working with classical text. In terms of directing productions, no, not as many as you would think. And I've actually worked on Midsummer before, and it was a very different production. So I'm actually looking forward to directing more Shakespeare now that I'm at Nebraska Wesleyan, and that is an important part of our culture here.
Yeah. Now, as a new professor, what has your experience been like this past year in directing, or not just directing show, but like just teaching classes and going around campus?
I feel really lucky. I feel lucky to be here in so many ways, but I think my favorite part of this job is that I teach across so many different areas in theater. I teach advanced dance. I get to teach Shakespeare. I teach contemporary practices. I am teaching musical theater as well and movement. So my days are really exciting, and they're full of all of the things that I want to be doing. And the students make it really wonderful to spend your time that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your background with Shakespeare? Like, what have you done that has helped you feel confident enough to direct a Shakespearean piece?
That's a great question. So a little bit of my lore is that I actually started in classical dance, and then I moved into musical theater, and I majored in musical theater in my undergraduate degree. And I always loved acting. I loved Shakespeare. I loved English class. And I was also lucky enough to go to a wonderful liberal arts college where Shakespeare, in terms of legacy and literature, was really, really important in my studies. And I just kind of never shook the feeling of, oh, I really, really love exploring these texts specifically. So even though I had a career as a musical theater performer, primarily as a dancer, I decided I wanted to go back and get my master's in something Shakespeare related. And I found a wonderful program in Stratford-upon-Avon, Shakespeare's birthplace, called the Shakespeare Institute, and I received my master's there. It was really an amazing experience. And part of that experience was through the university, I got to work on a module with the Royal Shakespeare Company, very famous English company. And I loved their rehearsal room practices so much that I then took it upon myself to do a 3-year, 3-tiered certification course with the Royal Shakespeare Company. So I spent a lot of time going back and forth to the UK, and I got a terminal certification. And I think what I really love about their program and their sort of mission is that every rehearsal room is different, and every actor, it doesn't matter if you are Sir Ian McKellen and Dame Judi Dench and you're playing the Macbeths, the 2 leads in Macbeth, or you are intern number 4, you just got out of university, out of your training, you start with this idea of a circle, and that a company is a circle, and that everyone's ideas are important, and there's an element of play and connection, and I try to kind of bring that in my own way to our practices here with our students at Nebraska Wesleyan. And so I think the RSC sort of set me up in my practices as a director, as an actor, as a dramaturg, to do that. And I think we're having a lot of fun, and it really feels like we are a company of actors rather than like this is just a show and here are the leads. So I hope that's what people are feeling.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know that you'd actually studied with the Royal Shakespeare Company. That's really awesome.
It's a really wonderful educational certification program, and if there are theater folks listening to this out there that after they finish their undergraduate degree, there's a couple of good places I can point you if you're interested in doing something like that.
Yeah. And you also do a summer theater program in Greece, correct?
I do. And that kind of connects back to Midsummer in a way, because I'm bringing some of that into the piece itself. Yeah. A little bit about that. International Theater and Dance Project is a summer theater intensive for 3 weeks. This summer we actually have 6 Nebraska Wesleyan students attending alongside students from all over the country. And I am the artistic director, so I get to work alongside amazing theater artists in a bunch of different areas. And I also get to teach Shakespeare while I'm there. So that's really exciting. But I think for me, I am Greek myself, and I love Greek culture, and A Midsummer Night's Dream takes place in the city of Athens in Greece. And I have tried to kind of illuminate that. You'll see alongside our beautiful costume designs by Charlie Anderson and faculty member Elizabeth Ennis, we have really striking costumes that are reminiscent of ancient Greek clothing, but with modern feeling in when we see sort of the fairy world. So a lot of that, including some fun Greek folk dances coming into the scene, and the architecture. Brenda Davis, our scenic designer, has done a really nice job kind of implementing the sort of Greek column architecture into our design. So yeah, Bobby, I'm new here and you've been here for a year. Yeah. I'd love to know a little bit about your experience working on this show so far, and you can maybe tell listeners a little bit what they can expect from the rude mechanicals, which is the part of the character you play.
Yeah, no, we're a wild bunch. We found such lovely ways to kind of play off each other and just find our natural balance with each other that there's these you can tell every relationship that everybody in the cast has with each other and how close we've come. And it's been really exciting doing another Shakespeare production because last year I got to be a part of our production of The Tempest, which was a very different feeling. It was nowhere near the comedy that this is. We were still able to find our moments, but there was just a lot more. There was just a lot more drama in it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's no drama in this. It's just
It was a heavier show.
It was a
Tempest is a
heavier
heavier show. Yeah.
and there were so many things that we were trying to do, and then in this one we just kind of took a step back and we approached it more head on, and we're just having fun with it, and we're coming together so fast. I think this was the fastest I've ever had a full run of a show put up. It was 2 weeks, and well, before we were running the full thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone by really quickly. Now that I think of it, I can't believe it's only we're only about a week away from opening. We open a week from tomorrow, so
Yeah.
that's pretty wild.
And it's really exciting because we've had so much time to just play with it and explore everything, and it's been really fun, just the random ideas and the bits that have popped up just from us being like, okay, how can I add to this scene? What can I find to kind of flesh out my arc here? Or how do I make myself not just sit staring there at nothing for 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, no spoilers, but one of my favorite moments in the show sort of came from your natural talent. If people don't know this, Bobby plays the flute, and I'm not going to let you know exactly how Bobby incorporates that in, but I think what's been really nice about this cast is you're also collaborative. You're collaborative with each other. You're collaborative with me. If you have an idea, I think we found really good ways to implement those things, and sometimes it's pure gold, and the flute is pure gold. So people are going to have to come and see what you're doing because it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up with this production of Midsummer, or anything else in the department that you want us to be thinking about?
Sure. I would encourage people who are coming out to see the show to not necessarily expect a typical Midsummer in some ways. As I mentioned, like part of my practice is how can I take the parts and elements of a play that make us feel uncomfortable in a 2026 context and kind of see them in a new light. So I encourage people to come with sort of fresh eyes and be open to seeing some different themes being focused on. So I think that'll be great. But just about the department in general, I think I'm really excited to be a part of a department that permits me to be able to work this way with you all and to breathe some new life into these texts, because I think that's what keeps them going. And I hope people come and they encounter both maybe a little bit of discomfort with it being so new and not feeling what necessarily like Elizabethan theater would have been like, but also to really like take some delight in that as well. So I don't know. I think if there's anything else, let me know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this has been a wonderful experience working with you on this project. And
Thank you. You too.
I can't wait to put the show up.
Great. I guess people should know when to come, right? Shall we tell them?
Yes, they should.
March 26th, 27th, and 28th at 7:30 and 29th at 2. And then
That second weekend in April, the April 9th through the 12th, with the 9th through 11th at 7:30 p.m. and the 12th at 2 p.m.
yeah, so come on out, check it out. You will I think you'll laugh. I think people are going to really laugh. We laugh every day, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to keep a straight face.
Yeah, especially while you're playing the flute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
It
you
was
for
a joy to
having
talk to
me.
you.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Can't wait to hear it.
As Lenny said, this upcoming week we'll see the opening of A Midsummer Night's Dream. The other things going on in the department this week are that we are welcoming vocal coach Noel Jones on Thursday and Friday, March 26th and 27th, to help with our musical theater classes. Thank you to the Pace Woods Foundation for being able to bring wonderful artists to come help work with our students. Some more announcements. Auditions for the first 2 main stage productions of the Nebraska Wesleyan 2026-2027 season will be held Saturday, March 28th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will also be the last round of student-directed production auditions this Monday, March 23rd, and Tuesday, March 24th from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the Green Room. Big thanks to Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech for letting us use his piece, Dreamer, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope to see you soon.